Hi, this is Sibila Extreme Vocal and why you feel pain while screaming. The first reason behind pain, discomfort or irritation inside your throat, larynx or other parts of your body while screaming is the improper placement for the distortion in a chosen technique, false chord or fry scream or whatever you do. The placement isn't precise enough. And what does mean placement? Placement is simply the source of the sound, in this case the distortion, false chord distortion or a fry distortion. It's the place from where the sound is coming from, and from its precision depends the level of our comfort during the vocal activity or the quality of sounds that we are making. So during the first days, weeks, or even months of practicing a specific type of screaming, it's very important to take care of a proper placement. And what is a proper placement, you ask? It depends on the technique that you are practicing. When it comes to fry scream, a very characteristic sensation that might appear when you make sounds using that technique is something that can remind of a plate of boiling water and sparkles. You can feel those sparkles inside of your larynx. You can even put your fingers like that on the sides of your larynx. Whoa! 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 And you can feel that something is kind of popcorning there. Those sparkles can be also felt in the area of your soft palate. If you feel something like this, it's literally like something was boiling inside of your throat and your vocal tract, but it's a pretty delicate and pretty pleasant sensation. Definitely comfortable, or at least neutral, and not very intense. You just feel something is popcorn in there, but it's not bothering you at all. It doesn't create any irritation or any discomfort. If you can observe something like this, then probably the setting, the placement for your fry scream is probably good. Wow! 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 There is that but if you feel that the sound is very flat, like or it's very deep in the throat, something like this, it won't be probably that comfortable. It won't sound too well, as you can probably hear. It will mean that you aim too deep with your fry. You probably tighten your neck and your throat in order to create a compression that will create the fry scream, and it's usually making the sound like it was swallowed, like it was placed very deep inside of the throat. Beside neck, larynx, and throat, the root of the tongue can be also tight. So when the root of tongue is tight, your voice will sound like this. And your fry will sound like that. It will mean that the breath support isn't fully coordinated with your voice, or you don't use it properly at all. But the breath support will be covered later. Now we talk about the placement. So if you sound like this with your fry, then it means that the placement is too deep in your throat. If you aim too high in the larynx or in the vocal tract to create the fry scream, it will be more like Higher pitch is just a side effect of me trying to push the sound too much toward the soft palate. A proper placement for fry scream is a bit more neutral. It doesn't feel very low and very deep inside the throat or larynx, but it also doesn't feel like sound is created very high. People sometimes try to direct the fry scream towards the soft palate in a very forceful and barbaric way, and this is what is creating strain and constrictions, and the sound is very flat. It doesn't resonate fully. It's also very constricted and uncomfortable in the most of cases. So if you feel that your fry is flat, or it sounds like it was swallowed and moved very deep down your throat, then the placement for your fry might require some improvement. But if you feel that the placement, the source, the setting of the fry scream is pretty neutral for your voice, and you don't have to reach very low down your throat or very high to get a nice and comfortable fry scream, and you feel that maybe the airflow is a little bit thinner, a little bit more compressed, a little bit more narrow than when you sing or use false chord, but still sound is flowing completely free and it doesn't have to forcefully squeeze through very tight, very limited space, then probably the placement and setting of your fry scream is good. Okay, and that's it for this week. Stay tuned for more reasons behind pain and discomfort while screaming. Thank you very much for today. Have a great day, have a great practice, and see you around.